Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Well, in the last session, we covered your first chapter, that is the fun they had, okay, of the Beehive book. Today, we are going to cover the second chapter of your Beehive, and the second chapter is The Sound of Music. It has two parts. The first part is about Evelyn Glennie, that is about a girl who became deaf, who lost her hearing power, but in spite of that, she had to face a lot of challenges, how she was able to overcome the challenges, and she became famous in the field of music. Not only that, she also became a role model for many people like her. Okay, so let's begin with the chapter. So in the beginning, it says, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. So let's begin the reading of the chapter. The difficult words, you can see the meanings are given. And apart from these meanings, if you find any other difficult word, so that is going to be your task, that you find out the meaning of it and make a note of that in your copies as well. So the first paragraph, let's begin. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of approaching train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. So in the first paragraph, what we understand is a very young girl, a very thin girl. She's standing at the railway station. She's excited, and at the same time she's nervous also, because she belonged to a very small town in the Scottish farm, and today she is waiting for the train because she was going to join the Royal Academy of Music. But yes, the challenge that is mentioned in this is that she is deaf. So let's proceed with the second paragraph. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when she was 8 years old. Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie. That's her mother. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal. Conceal here means she managed to hide that she was not able to hear properly. Okay, conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated. Now here deteriorated means they had started decreasing. From 10 marks she went down to 5 marks, 4 marks. That's just an example. Okay, and her headmistress urged means she forced her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired. Here, severely impaired means that yes, her listening power had become very weak as a result of her gradual nerve damage. So what was the reason why she started hearing less? That was because of a nerve damage that she had faced. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to school for deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. So students, see, it's so shocking for a young child who's just about 8 years of age, to listen to such a news. But let's see how she accepts this challenge. But Evelyn was not going to give up. So this is the kind of motivation, this is the kind of spirit that we all should have in our life. We should always be, we should always try to find out a way out of our problem instead of sitting with these problems. She was determined to lead a normal life, and pursue means to move on her interest in music. So she decided that she will not become weak or she will not become depressed about it. Instead, she will keep on carrying her passion for music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. So xylophone, you can see the picture is given on the right hand side. That's a musical instrument. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes, percussionist again, the meaning is given, that's a person who plays drum and tabla. So this was kind of a turning point in Evelyn's life when she met Ron Forbes. So Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes. Don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it some other way, says Evelyn. Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. Forbes repeated the exercise, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. I had heard to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. So here in this paragraph 3, what we understand is, in short and easy way, I can tell you that she met Ron Forbes, and Ron Forbes taught her the technique how to sense music and how to feel it, as she was becoming weak with her hearing power. But for example, if I tell you, if you play your favorite music and if it has loud beats, so your body tends to vibrate with loud beats, isn't it? So the same thing is happening with Evelyn, and Ron Forbes is trying to train her for that. So proceeding to paragraph 4, she never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of Academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. So see, students, how we get to see is that yes, when at the age of 8 years, she comes to know that she's suffering from a disability, but she did not let that point pull her down. She rather made it her strength, and she was able to score the highest in the record of Royal Academy of Music. Paragraph 5. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. If you work hard and know where you're going, you will get there. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. So what she's trying to say here is that never try to run for success. You just keep working hard, and you never know when you will become successful. Paragraph 6. It is intriguing. Intriguing here, the meaning is given, fascinating and curious, to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beard give me trouble, she laughed. So here we can get to know is that probably an interview must be taken, and Evelyn, people were surprised that Evelyn could speak so effortlessly, and it didn't even look as if she was deaf or she could not hear. But she laughs. Why she's laughing? She's laughing here. She says that she faces trouble with the people who have beard. Now, what is the reason behind it? Because she is not able to, look at their lips and try to capture the lip reading. Okay. So turning over to the next page, it is not just watching the lips, it's the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish tint. Okay, Scottish lint means, yes, that is the way of English that she speaks, the accent which we know. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. So we can see that just not music, her passion was also to learn different language. So she mastered French and Japanese as well. Paragraph 7. As for music, she explains, it pours in every part of my body. It tingles in the skin and my cheekbones and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against drums, she can feel the resonances, that is, the echoes or the beats, flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. So this is the way, she learned to sense music. So every part of her body can sense music. So she knows when the music is at the high tone and when the music is at the lower tone. Okay, students. Now proceeding to the last page 8. Yes, paragraph 8. Not surprisingly, Eveline delights her audiences. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award, says master percussionist James Blades. So this is her second master, who again trained her in music. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. Paragraph 9. Eveline confesses that she is something of workaholic. The meaning is given of the workaholic, that is, a person who works too much. Okay, I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians, but the rewards are enormous. Apart from her regular concerts, Eveline also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, she is shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. So in this paragraph, we get to read is that how she has become an inspiration for the other deaf children. Okay, so last paragraph. Eveline Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. So this chapter is written by Deborah Cowley, and below there are the question answers. So students, please listen carefully. This file has the instructions given along with it. You need to note down the question answers. I have and the stanzas as well. I have given you the question answers, particularly which you need to write. Few question answers you don't need to write. The numbers are given in the file, and you will just note down those question answers in your fair copies. So there are 3 things that you need to write in your fair copies. That is the stanzas, the short question answers, and the long question answers. So students, try to listen to the videos again and again so that you can understand the chapter clearly if you have any doubt. Okay, so listen to them again, and yes, utilize this time and try to do reading standing in front of the mirror. It will not only improve your fluency, but of course the pronunciation as well. Okay students, I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll see you, we'll meet up next for the next chapter. Till then, all of you, stay safe, stay at home, and be healthy. Thank you.